Hey, Miss I am here. I am strong. I am worthy. I am bold. I am confident. I am courageous. I am chosen. I am divinely protected. And so are you if you know. I hope all is well. I hope you're protecting your energy. I hope you're protecting your peace. I hope you vibrate and high on your path and journey. So I want to come on today with a quick message of how you accept that you've been lied to, how you accept that people have an agenda, how you accept that as far as, a lot of things, history, religion, a lot of things were not told, were told in reverse. We didn't get a lot of truth for that. And shout out to Dane Calloway. So if anybody wants to look more into that, Dane Calloway, he has a beautiful breakdown on the history. He really dissects what's true and what's not. So if anybody's interested in that, you going over to Dane Calloway. I believe he has a membership. If not, I think he has the channel without a membership as well. But if you want to know anything about that, or, anything that you came across that wasn't right, you feel as though it was history, Dane is the one that, really dives deep into that. So check him out, Dane Calloway. But anyway, so some people don't want to believe that we were lied to. A lot of people don't want to believe that there's an agenda out there. A lot of people don't want to believe that, most of us was here first, with that whole effort. People don't want to believe that, and with you being the one just breaking these generational curses, you accept that. You accept that, and you're willing to question a lot of things. You're willing to do the work to find out, what exactly, what's going on here. You're not just going to take things for what they are, questioning stuff. How did that happen? How did they come up with this situation, right? So a lot of people don't want to admit that. So you'll have a lot of people, family and friends, a lot of people who are just not going to accept that. And don't feel bad about as far as like religion, and don't feel bad about that, because if your parents are here, some people are going to be, for the most part, they're not going to be okay with you seeking the truth, because they don't want to accept that is the truth. They don't want to accept that they've been lied to. They don't want to accept that. They just don't want to accept the agenda that your own government plays a lot of role of everything that goes on. That how the cops are fucking the KKK with badges. Like, people don't want to believe that the country that they're in is as rotten as the fuck it is. They don't want to believe that shit. So, the powers that will paint a picture, the narrative of, that, as people chosen who break generational curses, that we're nuts because we question things. We're not, you're supposed to question stuff. Our family, as far as generations, our family and our ancestors was lied to. Some of them was, some of their stuff was stripped from them. They had to leave their homes. They was just bamboozled out of everything. So, you might get an older person to say, oh, well, my mom said, my parents didn't. Yeah, because they were lied to about certain stuff. So why is it so wrong that we want to find the truth? Why is that so wrong that just want to know the truth, but it's hard to accept, It's hard to accept. So it's like, for the most part, people want to know the truth, but can they accept it? That's the question. Can you accept the truth? And for the most part, people don't want to accept the truth. They can hear it for what it is, but they don't want to accept it. But want to accept that truth, it requires change. If you accept that truth, there's a lot of things you have to change that you're going to look at different. You're going to question a lot. You're going to just be like, wow, well, I wonder what else wasn't true. What's going on over here? What's going on over there? And, for the moment, their mind will be blown like, wow. But then it's just like easy to go back to, well, I mean, if they was going to do this, they would have been did it. If they was going, not paying attention to the signs, the movies, the music, the messages that are in the movies, the messages that are in the music, the messages that people, will just say, sometimes on podcasts and sometimes on talk shows, they'll go into a little bit, then they'll back off. They'll give a little bit and then they'll back off. So you got to be able to get in there and dissect that. Like, oh, I see what he's saying, read between those lines, but they're not going to give it all to you. You know what I mean? So they're not willing to read in between those lines. So you around a person, you break it down to them, they're going to be like, well, they'll find a way because this can't be accepted. So it's easier to find a way to justify what's going on than just simply accepting things for what they are. So they're justifying why the government is doing what they think. They justify why religion is this, justifying why that is that, instead of just simply taking the truth for what it is, you know? The truth is, we were lied to in the history classes. The truth is, most of us who was here and was bamboozled out of us our land and was made to think that we didn't come from here. That's the truth. They don't want to hear that. The truth, a made-up religion. The European guy with the long hair, you know, that was a made-up painting. You know, and I always felt like when I was younger that wasn't my father. I didn't feel a connection to that painting. I didn't feel a connection to that. Like the Last Supper and all that. I'm like that. I didn't feel connected to that. But I didn't question it because of how, you know, the curse of my mother believing that, her mother believing that, and so on and so forth. So when I got older, I'm like, no, something is just not right. Let me look into this. And my parents are no longer here, but if they were here, you know, I would have to, you know, ask them some things. I would have to question them on like, okay, well, why do we, you know what I mean? Why, you know, I wasn't there at that point of the awakening when they were alive. But I know my father, he didn't really believe in the religion at all. You know what I mean? So I probably wanted to know, you know, what was the end point? Why didn't you believe in religion? There's something you seen that, you know what I mean? But I didn't really get to ask them that. You know what I mean? So it's okay if you have family that just ain't going to accept it and they're just going to, you know, I was telling an aunt of mine who passed away, I was telling her, you know, she was saying 666 is a bad number. I'm like, no, it's how you look at it. And she's like, well, my mom, you know, which is my grandmother. Well, my mom said, yeah, but just because she said it don't mean that it is. Okay, what do you think about this number 666? How does that make you feel? So I'm explaining to her, I don't look at it as a bad number. I look at it like a 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons. Now, you want to look at it as a bad number, that's fine, but that's not how I interpret it. It's not a bad number, but most people will argue me on that. Oh, it's the mark of the beast. It's this, it's that. It's how you know, you feel how you feel. Everybody has their entitled to their opinion. I would love to have a healthy debate. You know, I'm all for that. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense to me that I would have questioned them about. And I know some of you probably, if your parents are here, your grandparents, you probably have asked them these things, and some of you probably didn't get a straight answer, or some of you probably, you know, got turned down like, oh, what you talking about? All that stuff you talking is evil. You know, that's the devil's work, what you're doing. That's evil, because that's what society was trained us to think, that, you know, having, tapping into your power, meditating and rituals and stuff with the society wants us to think that's a bad thing. No, it's a good thing. That is how we tap into our power. But society wants us to think that that is bad, and that's their agenda. And it just simply won't be accepted because their agenda, the spiritual side won't be accepted because their agenda of making it out to be so evil and, you know, evil and bad for years. So a lot of people, there's no way they're not going to believe it because they believed it for so long. It's evil. It's this, it's that. You light candles, you're a witch, you're this, you're that. Because that's what the illusion and society, that was the part of their agenda. That was their agenda from all along, to keep you from going with inside yourself, to keep you on the outside of yourself, to keep you going in circles, to keep you on the hamster wheel, a fan. You know, it's all the same shit. It goes in a circle. It's the same shit. So that's the part of their agenda. That's what they wanted to do, was to keep you outside of yourself, keep you in a loop, keep you going in circles so you don't go from in and hear and listen from within. They want you to listen to them. Everything they say is real. Everything they say is true. You know, you know better than that. You have the ability, you have all the tools to dissect all of that. So when you have some family members who say, you know, don't get discouraged by that. When they say that you're evil, when they say that you're doing the devil's work, when they say that you're doing all of that, don't let that, you know what you feel inside. You know the downloads you get. You know the discernment you have. You know the type of heart that you carry. Okay? So, and anyway, and some people with who claim to be pure-hearted, they wouldn't even say no shit like that. They wouldn't come off like that, like, oh, you're evil, you're the devil. They would want to know, like, well, how did you come up with this situation? What made you think of it in that way? They wouldn't even come off like that to begin with. So, you know, just let them have their opinion. You know, we was all trained a certain way. Some people are just not meant to wake up. And some people do have some of these stuff, but they block it out because they don't want to deal with it, and they'll block it out. You know, they'll just be like, oh, I ain't getting into that stuff. That stuff, that's a part of you. It's not stuff. It is who you are. But once again, the agenda, their agenda, and the powers that were in society want you to think that it's not. But it is. It is a part of you. The earth is a part of you. The earth, the wind, the fire, the water. Before it was earth, it was just sky and water. So how could we not be connected to that? But society wants you to think otherwise. And they'll keep trying, and they're going to keep trying, and they're going to keep trying. But stay strong and keep doing what's best. And those family members, they're going to try through them. It's always going to be the closest people to you who this negative energy will try to jump through and try to convince you, because it's all about staying in the dark. They don't want you to get into your light. So they're going to keep trying to keep you to stay in the dark. And don't feel bad about it. Keep questioning stuff. Question these motherfuckers until it makes them uncomfortable. Hey, so be it. Somebody got to do it, right? Because we can't, these curses and this shit got to be broken. We can't be, so we doing these breaking the curses and, trying to get the chains lifted off the family. And, the family don't even care about themselves. Some of them do, it's really sad, but that's a different situation. But, don't be scared to question nothing. Don't, just because people feel how they feel, question whatever. You got to question everything. Like if a person say, oh, come over, give you some information that just don't sound right, question it. Don't let it go because it's somebody close to you, or it's a friend, or it's, you know what I mean? Like, question it. If it doesn't feel right 9 times out of 10, it ain't. And don't let it go because you've been friends with this person for years, or this is a family member you've been around. It's like if it ain't right, then it just ain't right. So question everything. Keep questioning stuff. Keep, just keep doing that. I be questioning stuff every day. I'll be like, what? I don't like it. It's too much work. It's easier to listen to the government. It's easier to listen to the shit. Don't you listen to the media. It's easier to listen to all of that. You can think for your fucking self. Like, think for yourself. That's even hard these days, to just even think for yourself. And you ask Siri and Google, and you know what I mean? Like, I was just having a conversation with someone who I was saying, like, damn, we used to put the leaves in a pile and jump in them. I don't even see kids doing that anymore. We went out and played hide and go seek, and we made up games. We used our imagination, but now with the tablets, they don't go out. They don't do anything. They don't use their imagination because everything is right there. So I'm very grateful and thankful to be growing up in an area where there was no electronics, where I can have used my imagination, where I can go out and have fun and be physical out in nature. Where nowadays, there ain't too many kids out there. I don't see a lot of kids outside. It's really sad. I see a lot of like teenagers, but like 8, 9, 10-year-olds, I really don't see them running around. Out having a good time. We used to have snowman contests. We used to you jump in the leaf. Throw snowballs, we went out in nature and had a good time, and this was all about design. This was all about design and when you connected to nature, you have a good time, and you feel good. But with these electronics, and they knew that, a lot of people wake up in nature. So that was a part of their agenda. Like, oh, we keep them inside. That whole COVID, that was all designed to keep you inside, to keep you away from nature. It was all by design. So I know y'all probably heard that before, but that's just what it is. It was all by design. All this stuff is all by design. So are you going to go with the flow, or you going to think for yourself and do what's best for you and fuck that, So it's just, it is what it is. But, I question everything. I say, I was just talking to my sister, and I was telling her, now you think your little grandson looks like our brother, but when your little grandson was born, you didn't think he belonged to you. See how that works? Now you think the features. Now you think he's, it makes no fucking sense. But she was hell bent on it not being her grandson, So just don't pay to be fucked up. You never know how things will play out. But and I had to tell her. Like, yeah, you remember you thought he wasn't yours, You're like, oh, yeah. I don't want to talk about that shit now. But the fuckery. But anyway, but yeah, question it. Like, I'm not, be like, I'm religious. I'm spiritual, not religious, excuse me. So I tell a lot of people, I'm spiritual, not religious. And they be like, oh, it's, because society is like, say, hear the word spiritual, and it's just like, it's fear put into them. And it's like, that's too, and it's fucked up because it's a whole reverse. That's something you want to tap into. You don't want to be scared of that. That's who you are. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, But once again, the illusion, that was a part of their agenda. The more that I learn and the more that I grow and the more that I, get more in tuned into my spirituality, the more I feel and I know, it was all about design. And I felt that as a young child, but I didn't know what I was feeling. That how we age different, how we look so beautiful, and I'm like, we had to be here first. We had to be, because of how how we come off. And I like always go on, I almost got to shorten it or what, but yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, we age beautifully, just like we get, I've always asked people, I always had people ask me, like, what do you use on your skin? You have beautiful skin. And I'm like, I really don't use too much of nothing on my skin. I just got natural, beautiful skin. They're like, oh, your skin is so beautiful. I have a lot of, Caucasian people ask me that. And that's no shade. I'm not a prejudiced person. But I have a lot of them ask me that, like, what do you use for your skin? Your skin is so beautiful. I'm like, I don't use something. I really don't use too much of nothing on my skin. It's just, I got a natural, beautiful skin. And I just feel like we are naturally, beautifully, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I used to just look at us and I'll be like, wow, we are really beautiful people. You know what I mean? But I say I don't have a prejudiced bone in my body, but I just noticed certain things that, that was just like, damn, like, and I know if I had a conversation with my grandmother, if she was still here, she definitely would tell me, oh, that's the devil's work, because that was instilled in her for her to, believe that. And I know it's not, I know what I feel. I've had spiritual experiences, that no one can tell me I'm not a spiritual being. No one's going to tell me that, because I know what I experienced personally, so, just keep questioning everything. It's going to make people uncomfortable. It's going to, it's like, it's going to make you uncomfortable not knowing, like, oh man, and it's, people are just not going to want to be able to take that for what it is. And a lot of people, when you have these, they're going to change the subject or just get away because they just simply can't. They just don't want to accept the truth. And some of them can handle it. They just don't want to accept it. There it goes again. I feel like that's spirit there instead of a shortage. Okay, but yeah, they just don't want to accept it for what it is. They just don't. It's so easier to just go with the flow with everybody else is doing, so easy to flow with the current, and you go against the current. You go in the opposite way. They going this way, you going this way. So, of course they're going to think you nuts because you going this way. They see, everybody else going, where you going, bro? No, where y'all going? Where you going, sis? No, I'm going, where y'all going? Because that shit ain't, I'm not a go with the flow motherfucker. I'm gonna go with the flow, go with the agenda. I'm not a go with the agenda, go with the materialistic type of person. I go with the flow of life, the flow of spirit, the flow, yeah. But I don't go with the agenda flow. I don't go with that, So I'm just very grateful and thankful for it all. I'm very appreciative to it all. People don't like me. People don't like my growth. They don't like my strength. They don't like, I can feel the different evil looks and evil eyes towards me. And I don't give no evil eye and evil looks in return. I just simply smile, because it's sad, because you can feel just as good as I feel if you do the work. Miss, I am here. I am strong. I am worthy. I am bold. I am confident. I am courageous. I am chosen. I am divinely protected. And so are you, if anything resonated in any way, shape, or form. Like, share, subscribe, give me a comment. I want to know what's going on with you. Love you. Take care. Keep vibrating high. Keep protecting your energy. Keep protecting your peace. And keep doing what's best for you. All right.